Hey guys, so I decided to do this video because I figured I had nothing else to do, and I kind of just came up with this idea in my head. So, you can see here, I'm going to be making a Ben 10 tier list, but it's going to be a little different. Instead of ranking them basically just on power, I'm going to be ranking them off of potential. As you can see, I got my tiers here. We got max potential, high potential, average potential, low potential, and garbage potential. So this is basically exactly what it sounds like. I don't think anybody's ever done this before. So I figured, why not be the first to do it? Be a trendsetter, you know? But before any of that, be sure to leave a like on this video, help with the algorithm and stuff like that. And if you like what you see, be sure to hit that subscribe button and click that notification bell so you don't miss another one. And also links to my social medias and my Reddit page will be in the description down below. But without further ado, let's get into it. So first up, Clockwork. Now, what does Clockwork do? Now, Clockwork has, as you all know, time manipulation. Now, that, in and of itself, is very powerful, but also has a lot of potential for doing things as well. As we all know, time manipulation is a very hacks ability, so it goes up here right off the bat. Now, here's Wrath. If this were any other tier list, Wrath would go straight at the top. However, there's not much that Wrath does other than just be strong and have claws and have an awesome personality. There's not much development that goes beyond that. For example, like with Clockwork, for example, you can gain much finer control of your abilities and become like a god that way. But with Wrath, you can't really do that. So, well, I'm gonna put him down here, unfortunately. Now here's Feedback. Feedback can absorb and redirect any kind of energy, no matter how much. As you guys all saw, if you watch Omniverse, that is, that he was able to absorb and redirect a blast equivalent to that of the Big Bang. I feel that there's a lot of potential that goes into that. Chromastone. Chromastone can also absorb and redirect energy, however, not to the same degree as Feedback. On the other hand, there is something that can be done, because if we do look at the DNA sample that Chromastone came from, Sugalite, we see that he can fly, and he brought all the dead inhabitants of a planet back to life, and there's a lot that can be done there. I'm gonna put him there for now though. Skip Ultimate Albedo. Spider Monkey. Spider Monkey, there's really not much to him. I mean, what you see is what you get, but I guess he has more potential than Wrath because of his spider abilities, so to speak. You know, there's a bunch of things you can do with webs just as Spider-Man, so I'm gonna put him there for now. Kick and Hawk, just a fighter. Not much else to be said there. Amphibian. He's one of Ben's electric aliens, but he also has the ability of telepathy. Not to mention, he can phase through walls and fly. There's a lot of potential for growth there. Terraspin. Terraspin can manipulate the wind and fly as well. And there's also another aspect of him that's highly glossed over in the series, but he is also immune to mana and magic. So, so, but there's not much he can really do outside of that. So he goes there. Big Chill. Big Chill has the typical abilities of the ghost. He can go invisible, intangible, um, fly, stuff like that. He also has his ice powers. This phone doesn't like to focus. There we go. He also has his ice powers, and I think that can be a huge help. Humongosaur, just a big, barely dinosaur. Not much to him really. Alienx is basically he can basically do whatever he wants with just a thought. You know, it's kind of hard to beat that power wise or potential wise, nonetheless. So he goes there. Armadillo. Armadillo can create earthquakes, and there is some potential that goes with that. Not as much as these guys, however. Artiguana, ability wise, is a lesser Big Chill. So I'd say he goes down there. Astrodactyl. Astrodactyl is an alien that I feel gets overlooked a lot. And not only can he fly, but he also has this internal star energy or something like that. And I feel like that's an aspect that has never been explored. I feel, and I think, that it can make for a pretty interesting narrative. If what they say about the reboot is true, that all previous aliens are canon, and all reboot aliens are also canon to this continuity here, then there's a chance that we might get to see what Astrodactyl is capable of. As for Gravitac, you can manipulate gravity. There's a lot of potential that goes with that. Not to mention, Ben accidentally created a black hole. Like, he didn't even try that hard, so if he gains fine control over his gravity manipulation abilities, I think he can become a serious threat. Blux. Blux is an interesting case. He's a shapeshifter, but he's essentially made of Legos. And there's a shapeshifters can go there by default because of the sheer nature of them. Frankenstein. If I recall correctly, Frankenstein doesn't necessarily just have electric powers, but he also has electromagnetism in general, from what I read. I don't know if this is actually true or not, so I'm just gonna put him here, just to be safe. Blitzwolfer. He's a werewolf, sonic howl, not much else is interesting to you, really. Brainstorm. He's smart, he has electricity, he can, telekinetically move objects via his electrokinesis. So, that's something, I guess, right? Bullfrag. He's just a dude. Can't really do much with him. You know, he's just a fighter, really. Buzzshock, right? He can manipulate electricity, like many other aliens, but he can also duplicate himself once he has been damaged, and he can manipulate technology. Somebody was coming. And Buzzshot can also manipulate technology. So, Overlook Alien gets that spot next to all those other boys up there. Cannonball. Cannonball is pretty overlooked. He's definitely stronger than Ben's original 10 aliens. We saw that in his very first appearance. And it said that once he gets enough momentum, he can even destroy the moon. That hasn't been proven yet, but I'm excited to see what can happen. Chameleon. He turns invisible. I don't know. More potential than these guys, I guess. Crash Hopper. He jumps. He can ricochet. It's basically it. Diamond Head. He can manipulate like diamond constructs, and he can also reflect light and energy attacks. So I'm gonna put him there. Yeah, that's about right. Ditto. Ditto can clone himself infinitely, I believe, and he can also dig. Now, there's a lot of debate going on around whether Ditto is actually useful or not, considering Echo's around. But I believe there is a chance for Ditto to be useful because he does have that whole hive mind thing going on, and he can create like his own like unique fighting style, around his clones, similar to what Naruto used to do when he was a kid. Idol. Um, Idol. That's hard. He's kind of like Upchuck. Um, he's like Upchuck, however, he's a bit more durable and a bit physically stronger. He can eat stuff and spit it back out to a laser. Can't really do much else with that. Echo goes in the same place. He's Ditto. He has pretty much the same powers and more. Eye Guy. Eye Guy is an alien that gets overlooked a lot as well. And from what I've read, his eyes can emit not only energy blasts, but also ice blasts and fire blasts as well. And I see a potential fighting style that can be centered around these elemental blasts. So I'm going to put him up here. Fast Track. There's a lot to say about Fast Track. I believe that the way that they presented him in Ultimate Alien was wrong. I think he should have been presented as more of a combat alien rather than a speed alien. Because the whole speed alien thing was Accelerate's turf. But Fast Track had to fit the body of a human. So that made me think, oh, he's gonna be more combat focused than Accelerate was. But they didn't really do that. Instead, they just made him a worse Accelerate for some reason. And I feel like Fast Track shouldn't have necessarily been a speedster as much as he was an enhanced human. So, I feel like there is something that could be done with this. I think that he can do like the whole Bruce Lee thing and like and like a whole bunch of punches in like under a second or something like that. So I think there's a lot of potential to be done with that. Forearms. I love you, guy. Hey, but you're going down here. He's just strong. Can't really do much else with him. Ghost Freak, on the other hand, has a lot of potential. We saw he has the typical abilities of the ghost: intangibility, invisibility, flight, yada yada yada. But he can also possess people, and he has telekinesis. Why Ben hasn't really utilized that ability much, I don't know. Goop. Goop is another shapeshifter just like Blocks, but he goes a step ahead of him in the fact that his anti-gravity projector managed to pull a planet back together. So, I believe that there's more that can be done with that. And he can also turn his body adhesive or acidic, depending on what he wants to do. Gray matter. He's small, he's smart. He goes there. He has potential, not as much as these guys. Gut rot. Gut rot, unfortunately, wasn't really used that much. He can basically create any type of gas he wants. He's pretty much a walking chemical plant. He can create poison gas, laughing gas, sleeping gas, whatever type of gas you want. He can even potentially make kryptonite gas. Wink, wink, Superman fans. Yeah, he just wasn't used that often, but I feel like he could have been a big deal had he been used to his full status. Heat blast. It's been stated that heat blasts' flames can reach temperatures hotter than supernovas. So, we're gonna. I don't know, that hasn't necessarily been confirmed, but we're just gonna put him up here anyway because I feel like it. Now, Jet Ray can go faster than light. He can fly faster than light, and he can go even faster when underwater. I feel like there is something there that has yet to be seen with Jet Ray. Lodestar. Lodestar is pretty underrated. He's a magnetism alien, but he only has ferromagnetism, unfortunately. But that's fine. There's still a lot that can be done, just not as much as you think. He's not going to be a Magneto or something like that. Probably not. Mustache. He's a guy that can morph his mustache into different shapes. When scared, modify his mustache to be infused with Pioneer DNA. He went toe-to-toe with a young Bilgax. So I'm going to put him there. He's also stated to be in one of the new games soon. I think it's the VR one. Jury Rig. He was basically a new upgrade. At least that's what I first thought when he came out. But I learned he was a bit different. Instead of just upgrading machines, he basically takes scraps and builds new machines with them, which I think is really, really cool. Energy, I don't know why he's there twice, but energy is essentially living radiation, and there's also you can also transmute things and just radiation manipulation powers in general. Plus, we haven't seen the full extent of his power yet, and I'm willing to take that chance. Nano Mech. Nano Mech might have the most potential out of anyone on this entire list. The reason why is because an element of Nano Mech that was not highlighted as often as it should have been was his reactive adaptability. You ever heard of Darwin from Marvel Comics? You know, the black guy in X-Men First Class. That's basically Darwin has the ability to adapt to anything. Like, put him in water, he grows gills and stuff like that. That's kind of basically what Nano Mech has. And I don't know why they never show that for some reason. So I'm just going to put him there. Atomics, kind of the same thing with NRG, basically. We don't know the full extent of his power. He's also stated to be Ben's second strongest alien, even though he literally appeared at the tail end of the Omniverse, which is dumb. But what can you do? The worst probably has the worst potential on this list. No. Still garbage though. Pesky Dust. Pesky Dust can put their opponents to sleep, and they can also go into their dreams. That can be used for various purposes. Water hazard can manipulate water, but he can also change the temperature of it and absorb the moisture from the air, as we saw him do with Captain Nemesis. Ripjaws, he's a fish. Next, Ball Weevil. Ball Weevil is fascinating. He creates that ball of goo, right? And it can explode. There's not much else that can be done with him, but I'm gonna put him here just because we don't know how big those goo balls can get. Shock Squatch, he's an electric alien. He's strong. Not much else to him really. Snarrow. Snarrow is like a mummy type alien. He's also a shapeshifter, just like Goop and what was the other one? Blocks. He can use his bandages as a grappling device. There's some potential there. Spitter. I almost forgot his name. Spitter. He just spits stuff. We don't even know if his spit is acidic or not. So, yeah. Sorry, dude, you go there. Same with Stinkfly. There's not much else to see here. Swamp Fire, again, they put him twice. Swamp Fire, on the other hand, is a different case. He can't manipulate fire like Heat Blast does, because he can only generate it, nor are his flames anywhere near as hot, but he can still generate fire, and he has a way to control plants, and he can regenerate it. So, I think that's enough there to even the score. Topic, he scares people. That's it. Can't do anything else with him. You're not gonna do Ultimate Aliens for the sake of this video, just to not overcomplicate things. Who's next? Upchuck. Upchuck. So he basically ate a thing in the Generator X crossover. It was basically the density equivalent to a dwarf star, and it's said that his stomach is actually a pocket dimension, Kirby style. So there's something to be had there. Upgrade. You should already know where he's going by now. I don't think there's anything else that really needs to be said about him. We all know what Upgrade can do. We all know what Upgrade has the potential to do. There's really no debate on this one. Walk a Trout. Next. Waybig. Waybig is huge. Apparently, he is very, very fast from what I read. He apparently, the evil version of Waybig from Cosmic Destruction was able to travel across the galaxy in minutes. Now, we don't know if Cosmic Destruction is canon or not, but it's something. There's also a statement that he comes from cosmic storms. Whether he can manipulate cosmic storms or not has yet to be seen. But I feel pretty excited now knowing that he's in the reboot. We might get to see that. Who knows? Vampire. Vampire, he is basically a vampire, you know. Nothing really special about him. He can hypnotize people. Cool. Wild Nut, can't really expand too much over that. Wildvine, he can regenerate. I don't think he can control plants like Swamp does, but he definitely can manipulate his limbs to stretch and stuff like that. He can camouflage himself, and he can throw like these plant bombs. So I'll put him with his counterparts. Lastly, Accelerate. Accelerate. Now I know that they said that he can only go as fast as 500 miles per hour. I think that's cap. On the other hand, he was going so fast that time was basically slowed down from his perspective. 500 miles per hour isn't even the speed of sound. You're telling me he was able to go that fast and not even break the sound barrier? Yeah, I doubt that. So, and as we saw with Ben 10,000, he was able to traverse the planet in seconds. So he can go even faster than that. So, that's my potential tier list for Ben 10 aliens. With max potential, yeah, we have Clockwork, Feedback, Alienx, Astrodactyl, Goop, Gravitak, Echo, Buzzshock, Ditto, Ghost Freak, Fast Track, Gut Rot, Jury Rig, Energy, Nano Mech, Upgrade, Atomics, and Accelerate. In high potential, we got Chromestone, Amphibian, Big Chill, Blocks, Water Hazard, Cannonball, Eye Guy, Lodestar, Pesky Dust, Diamond Head, Heat Blast, Wildvine, Swampfire, Upchuck, Snarrow, and Waybig. In average potential, we got Terraspin, Armadillo, Artiguana, Frankenstein, Vampire, Mustache, Maul, Weevil, Brainstorm, Grey Matter, and Jetbait. In low potential, we got Spider Monkey, Blitzwolfer, Chameleon, Crash Hopper, Shock, Squatch, Stinkfly, Spitter, Eagle, and Ripjaws. And finally, at the garbage potential level, we have Wrath, Kickin' Hawk, Humongousaur, Bullfrag, Forms, Walker Trout, The Worst, Hopic, and Wildmutt. So, that is about to do it, guys. Like I said earlier, please leave a like if you enjoyed this video. Hit that subscribe. I have Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. I'll leave those in the description, as well as my Reddit profile. So be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell if you want to see more stuff like this. And this is Cam, aka the Killer 234, signing off.